Hello everyone and welcome to Sunday Afternoon Live. Me and Joel are here to catch the last hours of Roses.
Yeah, what a weekend it has been. He is Josh Chapman, I'm Joel Mitchell, and well, with just a few hours to go, it seems it's a done set for York to take Roses.
Is it?
Thankfully,
Yeah,
for a home victory. So the points to win, 183.5. My maths isn't great, Josh, but I think we have 10 points to go. Lancaster would need about 50 points, not much left. I think it's a home Roses victory. So, looking forward to that later on tonight. Busy old show. Here's what's coming up.
So yesterday we spoke to Mind, local mental health charity, well York Mind.
And so they've been combining essentially the sporting side of this with the mental health side.
It's a really good thing.
Beavers, that's his main push this year, and here's our chat with them from yesterday.
My name's Holly and I'm from York Mind. Mind as an organisation is a national organisation, national charity, devoted to supporting better mental health. And that can mean anything. That can mean sort of national campaigns, it can mean sort of anti-stigma work amongst communities, it can also mean face-to-face support in local communities. And the face-to-face support is actually delivered by a network of local minds. So that's what Roses 2017 is supporting. It's supporting York Mind and Lancashire Mind. And we are independent organisations devoted to delivering face-to-face, one-to-one and group-based support in our localities. And all the local minds up and down the country do different things depending on where they're based and what the people in that city require. We've been social mediaing it right off. We've been doing some case studies with the Students' Union, with students who are involved in sports across the University of York, sort of talking out about their experience of how sport has helped them with their own mental health, both in terms of the physical side of things, but also the sense of belonging, the sense of camaraderie that can come with sport. And we as charities, York Mind and Lancashire Mind, are supporting in terms of lots of branding, lots of awareness raising, and obviously the bucket collectors that you might see across campus this whole weekend who are raising the funds pound by pound to help supporters. And it doesn't matter if you've got 20p or 2p or 20 quid, it all really does add up.
That is our chat with Mind from yesterday, the mental health charity working with USU for this year's Roses event. Now, with some sporting action, yesterday was the big day at the pool at York Sport Village. We're joined now by Becky Britton and Captain Fiona Whitting from the York swimming team. Thanks for coming in today, guys. How was last night's celebrations then? I think you had more sort of commiserations, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't do as well as we hoped. It was really, really tight and we fought as hard as we could, but they just had some excellent swimmers that we just didn't realise they had. So.
But the season overall has been pretty good, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had an epic season.
And we have some pictures I'm going to put on in the background. I've known you too long, Becky.
Yeah.
We used to swim together back in the day. How is it different now swimming at university?
It's nice because, like we were saying earlier, you get more involved in the club, you get a bit more to do, and it's just such a family feel. Like, as a fresher coming into uni and having the support of the swim team, it just makes that integration into uni so much easier.
Yeah.
And it's been a great year. I've really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was talking to a few people who were doing other sports yesterday, and there seemed to be like varying opinions on the competition between Lancaster and York. So how did you guys find it? Did you feel like it was quite friendly, or when you were swimming was it very intense? Or?
Swimming's okay. The polo's intense. Yeah.
Did you do polo? I know you do polo. Did you do polo as well?
I was polo captain last year actually. It's a lot more physical, and you've got the whole atmosphere because you get the crowd going. You can really hear the crowd going as well, and there's so much. You're literally fighting the water.
Yeah, and I was going to ask about what was it like, the atmosphere, because like I was at the darts yesterday and it was mad the amount of the small amount of people making all that noise.
Yeah,
was it quite a lot of people?
Yeah, there's quite a bit because they're York Sport Village. They really make sure that they're a bit concerned with how many people they get on board side, because then it can get a bit too noisy and they don't like it. So they so they really toned down how many people we could have, which was really sad because then it meant that not as many people could watch us. Which was a bit upsetting, but it was still mental in there.
Yeah, the atmosphere was electric, especially for polo. It was so loud.
And there's some great action shots here. Now, as a former swimmer, I did give it up quite a while ago. Wasn't as good as Becky, clearly, from the same club. Just give our viewers a sense of the commitment, because you're up very early to train, aren't you?
So we have 4 morning sessions each week, 6 till 8 a.m, which is lovely.
Not
and
great
then
for social life, though, is it?
Not great. Like the first years do really well because quite a lot of first years go out quite often in the week. Like when you get older, you don't do as many nights out, so it's not as bad. But quite often, like first years, like go out and then go to training, or which is very committed. And then you have the 3 evening sessions a week as well.
Wow. I was actually going to ask: is it generally, do you have people that did swimming before they came to uni, or do you think new people that are starting could just start swimming and maybe get into Roses eventually?
Unfortunately, like with swimming, like you do need to have the skills early on, so it's quite hard to get into it. But with polo, you do see quite a lot of people, like, especially women's polo, who've never played before at all.
I never played before, but joined the team this year.
And we heard the referees are they underwater, or is that in octopus?
That's an octopus, yeah.
That seems quite skillful. Would you ever be tempted to try that, maybe?
It's quite interesting because they have to wear gloves and they have the little sticks because ages, like 4 years ago, we had this tournament with like water polo, canoe polo, and octopus. So it's really interesting, like seeing what other sports water sports do.
So like if they, like, I know obviously in sports above water you have the whistle, but what do you do underwater? Is there any?
They have a sound. I think they have a noise box underwater that they can like press, I think. But because they have to come up for air, so they can hear things above the water as well.
We've seen pictures of Ponds Forge. That is an Olympics swimming pool, 50 metres. I've swum there back in the day. It's freezing. I'm sure you can guarantee just how cold it is when you first jumped in at 8 in the morning. Playing at those kind of, not playing, but swimming at those kind of venues, what difference does that make? Is that an added adrenaline rush for you guys, maybe?
Definitely. It's nice to have a proper competition pool. Especially at Ponds Forge, there's loads of seating.
Yeah, so it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, big crowds, big sport, it's brilliant.
And it's amazing. So when we were there, we saw Adam Peaty swim.
Oh, wow.
He was there, and see so many other athletes that we look up to swim, and then they're actually like 10 metres away from you swimming.
And it was
incredible.
So lovely. They come and speak to you, take pictures with you.
It is a pretty inclusive sport from what I can recall, so you both obviously see inspirations. Do you fancy a bit the next Adlinson, given you're both ladies, or...?
I don't think I could. Like, we train quite a lot at the moment, but they train such crazy hours, and I like my social life too much.
Nights out there too.
Trying to balance it up, isn't it?
So I was going to ask, so Becky, this is your first Roses, isn't it? So how's this Roses compared to previous Roses then?
It's been, I think each Rose has come along, like, there's more media, there's more everything. They get, like, the opening ceremonies, because this is my 6th Roses.
6? Wow.
I'm quite old now. So it's been amazing, and it's stepping up, and like the swimmers, in my first year we were good, but like now the swimmers that we're getting is just the next level. Like we're getting quite a lot of like national standard swimmers, which it's just amazing to even like compete with. Some
definite water babies there. Well, I know it wasn't the best weekend, but you've had a great season. Fiona and Becky, cheers for popping in today. And some great pictures actually. I can get a bit nostalgic with that. Now, from swimming to karate, we'll chat to some guys from Lancaster in a second, but here's a clip from them in action yesterday.
I'm kind of happy with that. I mean, like, it was 1 point difference, and I'm just getting props for the York team, so really, really good. So I love it. Keeping eating is very fun. It's very tiring, but it's good.
Even though we lost overall, it's a good experience for Rockwell and me as well, considering we all put a good effort in it. I think we shouldn't be disappointed at all.
Karate Lancaster interview now.
Hello guys.
So let's give you an update of the scores so far on this, the final day of Roses. We mentioned at the top of the show the threshold to win 183.5 points. Lancaster are clawing back, but of course In terms of sport, it's pretty dead out there now.
We only
We're at
need
the
10
end of the
points.
weekend, aren't you? You were at darts yesterday.
I was at darts yesterday.
Darts was a big point winner. How was that? The atmosphere must have been electric at darts.
It was pretty. Well, I mean, I was saying before, for the amount of people that were there, it was a really good atmosphere. And like, I never knew darts could be that exciting. Suddenly, just like this really loud music had come on, this pumping music, and yeah, it was brilliant.
I was there at lunchtime, and I recall it being it was picking up. It was the third team, and by the time we got to the first team, about 8 o'clock at night, the atmosphere in there was like a proper beer keller type situation.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing.
Good drink
in terms
deals.
of the Roses coverage on roseslive.co.uk, you can watch badminton men's first online. There's some ballroom dancing Latin on now. The netball first team, the badminton women's second, and us on this show Sunday afternoon live. Later on, we'll hopefully speak to Millie Beach, the student union president. But first, we had some karate from before. Let's speak to some karate people now from the Lancaster team. They're stood up. We're on the sofa. We look even smaller now, guys. Cheers for coming in today. How's your Roses been so far then?
Well, I mean, we would have liked to have taken the win home. I mean, but we're against a really strong team from York, and I like to think we put in a good, strong performance. I mean, we had quite a strong performance from the Cumans head, didn't we? My friend here, Callum, had quite a strong output. He won his round, and but we both managed to get some good hits, didn't we, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good hits. I mean, my nose may be a few millimetres shorter now, but it was a good experience nonetheless.
I was going to ask, because obviously karate is it's obviously a very physical sort of sport. We were talking about competition. Do you think the competition for karate is quite friendly, or can it get quite fierce?
I mean, during the actual competition, there's definitely kind of like there's a focus to it that you get. But I mean, afterwards, everybody the York team were generally really nice to talk to.
It's like AJ and Klitschko from last night. It was fierce in the boxing ring, but there's a lot of respect off the.
As much as I'd like to give like a Lancaster bias, it's like generally, I must say, the York team were actually genuinely really nice.
Have you guys socialised together over the weekend? Then I know a lot of teams have been preening together and going out together.
I mean, went to the pub afterwards, didn't we? So
that probably counts. Now, obviously, there's lots of mixed martial arts, judo, taekwondo, karate. How does karate fit in? What's different about karate compared to the other martial arts?
Well, karate encompasses quite a few features. I mean, we do punches, kicks. Like taekwondo or judo. Taekwondo focuses on kicks only, really, and judo focuses on throws. But we do throws, we do sweeps, anything.
Yeah. It's like much more variety, essentially.
Yeah, and had you guys done it before coming to university?
Yeah. I've done it since I was about 10. I mean, once I was doing my GCSEs and exams, I sort of toned down my training a bit. I mean, but I've picked it up since I've been at university. I
was going to ask, do you think you need to have done karate before coming, or do you think it's something you can pick up and then get onto Roses before you finish your degrees?
I think it's for anyone, even if you want to start doing it. I mean, Will's only orange belt, but I'm not trying to say that's bad or anything, because it's obviously not. I mean,
hello, Callum, you trying to shoot for president?
Oh yeah, obviously. And Will did really well considering how good his opponent was.
Yeah,
and he still managed to put up a good fight and everything. So definitely don't be put off if you're like a beginner, because just train hard and it pays off. I mean, whether you're a black belt or a white belt, I mean, as long as you put the effort in, then
hard work will pay off, won't it? Absolutely. Yeah. So you've been here the whole weekend, haven't you? What's been your highlight in terms of what else you might have seen from the different sporting events?
Do you have anything to say, Robert?
Basketball? Did you see the basketball Friday?
No, but funnily enough, there's a bit of a bias. I'm helping do a bit of the reporting for media, which is like, hey guys.
Whereabouts are you with? Are you with Scan?
I'm with Scan, yeah.
Okay, so how have you been covering it on Scan then?
Oh, well, I mean, yesterday I covered the women's first darts, and that was utterly mad. I mean,
I was there as well.
Hello, why didn't I see you?
You probably.
I was buried in the throng of Lancaster supporters. It was insane trying to not get too jostled about, but it was absolutely marvellous atmosphere.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was completely, it was electric.
But considering the amount of people, they were making a good racket, but it was good. It was brilliant.
There were a hell of a lot of chanting, I believe.
Less people, but loud projections, wasn't it? The darts. So in terms of Scan, obviously, you're not instant media, so how have you been capturing it all? Have you been live blogging, or what are you aiming for? And you've got a publication out Thursday coming, haven't you, at Scan?
Very much so, yeah. So I've got all highlight articles from the week. So, I mean, as kind of like a reporter, we get like a Roses Live updater. So we sort of, you hide somewhere at the event, ideally somewhere near the front or the back, wherever's good. and you just keep updating it. Sort of like just speak your mind, and it's like it's not that complicated really. So it's like as much as we like to make it, you know. Like if anybody else asks, it is. But like really, it's just all you have to do really. It's just sort of like just speak your mind and sort of like get the highlights of the match, and it's really been a very enjoyable experience.
And it's been sporting and the other things. We've had Mind on, the community spirit. How's that been? Do you think?
Oh, it's like I think it's really great that sort of promoting this kind of like especially promoting kind of mental health for such a big event. It's a big bonus really, and like there's no really. It's really good that they're kind of pushing something like this out, such a big event, and I'm glad that they're kind of putting this more to the fore, really.
So is this your guys' first Roses, or have some of you been before?
This is my second one.
It's your second?
Although my first one, I've got an interesting story whereby I was brought into Kumite, the actual sparring, whereby the last president went up to me and just said, "Yeah, would you like to do Kumite? Yeah, sure. Okay, you got 30 seconds to prepare." I was just like, "Oh my god, oh no!"
Not much time to prepare 30 seconds at all, is it?
See, it's like. 30 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but you can get it right.
He borrowed a gum
mental
shield.
Psych, isn't it? Yeah.
He borrowed a gum shield.
Have you guys enjoyed it? Considering it's your first one, have you? I don't know, had a good time? Yeah,
it's been really good. It's a good experience. Just I mean, I know we lost, but like it is a good experience no matter whether you win or lose with karate, especially. But yeah, I think just the welcome from York itself has been really good. It's been like a really good atmosphere. So yeah, really enjoyable.
All right, guys, thanks for coming in today and enjoy the rest of your first Roses. I hope to see you at the closing ceremony tonight. That was the York karate team. Whilst we've been on there, we're having more updates from the scores. York 177.5, Lancaster 132.5. So York, just 7 points away. Told you I was rubbish at maths. From securing that victory. We'll get some social media updates from Grace in just a second. And actually, speaking of Grace, me, Josh and Grace, you might have seen our faces plastered across campus with this famous poster. Should we
very epic.
Bring it up now and shout to Edwin?
These are two versions, aren't they?
Two versions. So we've got 99 Problems, but a pitch ain't one. Like that one, that's an Ariana Grande tribute there.
Goal YSTV did.
We go for that, man. Literally can't just go YSTV did. Lemon Press, the famous typical Lemon Press spoof of that. I think we can actually show you a selection of our fees now whilst we get Grace ready for the show. So the badminton men's first is happening, the ballroom dancing Latin is happening, the netball is happening, the women's first, I think, playing down there. This show is happening on rosedlive.co.uk, and the badminton women's second is happening, and maybe York from those sports could actually secure the points they need to take them home. But we are predicting. I'm confident. I'll put my mark on it. I'm predicting it's going to be a whitewash for Roses' victory, and York will take it home. So Roses are most definitely white.
On the topic of these photos, I've had so many of these, like of all people on my course and stuff.
Snapchat
doing this.
It's everywhere, isn't it, Grace?
It's great. It's great to see your face around campus. I've received so many Snapchats from friends, like doing impressions and like spotted.
It's when you see it close up, like the lights were so bright that the eyes.
The pouting, Joel, your pout has got to be the best. I'm sorry, like Josh, me and you, we tried, but Joel's pout and the glare, really intimidating.
The amount of times when the posters went up about a week ago, I was like, why do I get so many Snapchats? And I went through, and it was literally that picture, about 20 times.
We really wanted to promote like the coverage because it's not just us, it's not just YSTV. We're also so lucky to be joined by LA1, by Leeds Student TV, Loughborough, Sheffield, like all these different stations have come together to celebrate Roses, even if they're not directly.
You can hear the cheering. We're actually in the heart of the student media is based in USU, so we're really in the thick of it. So we have Scan just outside of us, ULY and Belring.
Got Mind over there as well.
So just outside the USU building.
Coming to you from social media right now, we can officially confirm that York win Roses.
Oh, brilliant.
New Sport Roses have just tweeted, York wins Roses 2017.
Oh, brilliant. That's why you're the
hashtag, and actually just looking on the rosedlive.co.uk website, it has been updated. We have reached the threshold point, and maybe that's why we just heard the cheers from outside there. Any reaction on social media? I'd imagine we'll take a little bit longer, so we'll come to that later on in the show.
We can now confirm Roses are officially white.
Yes. Roses are officially white.
For a year.
We don't tend to lose a home Roses because
it
would be somewhat embarrassing.
About Roses winning.
Very simply, York won. Hashtag That's more like a lemon press standard tweet, like kind of underplaying the achievement. Yeah,
you two have also got York. It's official. We're the Roses 2017 champions, and a really great champions in white with their hashtag Roses All White there. Excellent reactions going on. So in the last sort of 5 minutes, all the results for the cheerleading has come out. So level 2, York Hornets say hashtag cheerleading. Roses are white for cheerleading today. York Hornets prepare to be stung. Well done, cheerleaders.
Do you know what I think did it? I think these posters encourage the crowds to get down there. We'd like to take some responsibility for this ourselves. Grace, this is your first Roses as well, so what's been your highlight?
So I think it's just literally being on campus and seeing everyone, everyone in the exhibition centre. When we came in this morning, there was still, even though they've been here 2 days, still such like a spirit of sort of community and support. And at the end of the day, that is what sport is about. It's about teamwork. It's about working together, coming together as a community. So I think for me, being a part of this, obviously, but also seeing that kind of community on campus in York.
I like hearing those stories of nice help, because I hate competitiveness. That's probably one of the reasons I've never really done big team sports.
Yeah.
Because it's competitiveness. It's not nice, and it seems like they've had a really nice relationship. I think.
Yeah. I'm the opposite. I was full on shouting at the basketball. I think as long as you have we played for a game of pool. It was just us two, and it was. I think it's great that we have the competition on the pitch, but the respect remains off the pitch. I used the Joshua and Klitschko example from the boxing last night, that we have this fierce history of Roses, backdating to actual history, which is carried through to sport in a less beheading type manner. But we still have that respect off the pitch. Scam breaking it there. York have just reached the threshold of 183.5 points, which means they have won hashtag Roses 2017. And you heard it here first on Sunday Afternoon Live.
But to be fair to Lancaster, it's been very close up until this afternoon. This morning there were what, 20 points?
They really could have clawed it back.
They really could have clawed it back.
Like this, literally, hasn't it? And then it just went.
We've seen such amazing results from all sports teams. Lancaster have just won the karting up in Teesside as well. The karting, didn't realise that was a category, but Lancaster have just won that up in Teesside there. Uni of York squash have just reported that the women's first have won the points. It came down to the games won in the end, but incredible from the girls on the women's first squash team for York.
Fantastic. And it's obviously like 3:27. We're heading towards rugby. Those are the final two showdowns. So every single sport now begins to wrap up. So Grace, for now, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Indeed, you can still watch the streams online at roseslive.co.uk. Here's some cricket action from today.
Cricket, yes.
So we have officially won Roses 2017. Fantastic, it's a home victory. It'd be kind of awkward if we hosted it and didn't win. It has happened before, though. Now, someone who's seen it all for the past couple of years is Chris Hunsworth, who is a Roses legend on the swimming and water polo team. That's how Becky Britton described you earlier on. This is your 8th Roses, Chris.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Blimey.
Yeah, I've probably been at York just for too long. Done 2 degrees, so did an MChem and doing a PhD now. So
in what? Which PhD in?
Chemistry.
Nice.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so I've been joining the club just to do swimming. Kind of stopped swimming when I was 14.
Yeah.
And then joined the uni team. The club was in a fairly sorry state when I joined.
Yeah.
And then just got into it and carried on.
That's what Fiona was saying, that from when she joined 3 or 4 years ago, the club's grown in that space of time. So what's the big difference? Is it the team spirit? Is it the community? Is it the facilities at York Sport Village? What's actually making that difference?
I was going to say, what differences have you noticed?
So in comparison to when I joined, there's been definitely a massive change in attitude. I think that I became president of the club at the end of my first year.
Yeah.
And the men's polo captain to me at the time said, I know you care about the club, but don't put too much effort into it because people don't really care about it that much.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, that's not okay.
Yeah, it's the attitude probably have to change.
Yeah, so that's like, with that, I kind of took that as a bit of a challenge to be like, okay, well, let's not have that. and let's get people to care about what we do, because we join clubs and societies in order to make sure that we get something out of a university experience more than just a degree.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So yeah, that's I think just making people care is the main thing that we do, and obviously Roses is a great way of doing that.
Yeah. So 8 Roses, that's pretty crazy. So how have you found the difference from being in because Lancaster was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So do you prefer York Roses?
I actually prefer away Roses.
Oh really? Oh,
because it's not to do with how it's organised or anything. It's just the situation that you end up finding yourselves in. It feels like you're going somewhere different. You're doing something new.
Yeah.
When you're in York, people can spend time, then go home. They can go away. They can take time to shower and eat normal food. But then when you're on Lancaster University campus, you're kind of trapped there.
Yeah.
And you are the enemy. Like, people look at you like strangely because you're wearing the different coloured merch. And so like you have to constantly just be like with each other and around each other. You're completely immersed in it. And so I actually prefer away Roses because of that.
More of an experience.
Yeah. So I know you've had 8 years of Roses. Yeah. Does one moment stand out?
Just one moment stand out. When I was president, one thing that I did do was re-establish the women's water polo team.
Okay.
And because the year before, there was a guy who was the women's polo captain, and his job, he took upon it to dismantle the women's polo team so the men's polo team had more opportunity to train, which I just thought was shit. And sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
It's fine. It's shouldn't TV off. Comcast. Absolutely fine.
Amazing. And so we re-established a team that year, and they competed in Roses that year. But then they got trounced because they were basically, they didn't know the game at all.
Yeah.
But then the year after, we went to Lancaster, and they played an absolute blinder, and they won. And it was the start of a 5-year run for the women's polo team of winning matches. And it was like that feeling of knowing that I'd started something completely, or being part of starting something completely from zero, and being able to enable people to have that experience of winning, which is completely foreign. And those girls were like, this, we've gone from nothing to this is everything.
Yeah.
This is the best that we can do. And it's like they were being able to see that and be part of that transformation was just it was the best.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, cool. That's brilliant.
So you've been here for 8 years. This weekend there's been so much going on. What's been your highlight from this weekend apart from your events? Basketball. I keep saying that, but that was the showdown.
I love the basketball. Yeah, that was.
Were you there or did you watch it?
Yeah, I was there.
You were actually at the venue.
Yeah.
People who weren't there don't just know the atmosphere in there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But the girls were saying that water polo was pretty mental as well.
Yeah, I mean personally, I feel like the water polo was a bit controversial because of some refereeing decisions that went on, and so there was definitely a bit of a downbeat vibe because we felt like we were going against the ref, we're going against even staff at the York Sport Village were exactly being very helpful at times. It was hyper tense, I would say. Probably not. In other water polo fixtures, it's been a bit more enjoyable because we've had the chance, the swimmers anyway, kind of go away, have a drink or two, and then come back, and then we'll get a bit rowdy, and it's great.
Yeah.
The water polo cheering is kind of a big part of the tradition of what swimmers do within Youthwick.
Okay. Chris, enjoy the last few hours of Roses for you. You are a true Roses legend. You've been here longer than most people, actually, at Roses, and it must be great to have actually won on the last one. So sounds the victory. And that is the breaking news on this afternoon show, Sunday afternoon live for Roses. We have won. It is a York victory. We are now 4 points above the threshold. The score so far, 187.5. Lancaster at 132.5. Ballroom dancing Latin still to come. We'll be getting some more fixtures, as we said before, with Grace. It's all sort of coming to a head now as we wait for that final rugby showdown. Still to come, we'll be recapping some of last night's show, but Millie Beach, the UC president, is just going to come into the studio for us now.
Interestingly, last
Millie, please take a seat closer. Please come closer.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Please grab a mic.
Interestingly, we're interviewing Millie for the second time together.
Yes, this is like a re-nap of the NSS. Obviously, much happier times now. We've won. You must be relieved.
I'm absolutely thrilled. I think it's great for York. It's really beneficial for us, and obviously it's such a good result when so many people have worked so tirelessly to get here, all our sports people. But also I'm relieved because it means that Isaac will be nice in the office for the rest of the year. So we're preparing ourselves at one stage for about 2 months of grumpiness.
And shouts to Isaac, he's been amazing the whole weekend, hasn't
literally flawless. I can't fault him at all.
Yeah.
So he's incredible.
And we've been talking a lot about the combination of sport and mental health. I know you're very passionate about that. So just give us a sense of the impact that's had on this year's Roses, the Mind involvement.
I think Mind has been really incredible this year. Having that link up is so important to York and Lancaster. I mean, there are so many challenges that students face every day, and just having that presence really... Oh, look, there we go. We know the answer to that one now.
Yeah, it's a bit higher on the scores for one team. Yeah.
But just having that presence there has been really beneficial, and I think what we're doing at York so amazingly is really encouraging students to talk about it and recognise that how they're feeling is okay. And that they can.
And that it's okay to feel bad. That it's okay to come out and say, "Look, I'm not feeling that great, and I need to talk about it." I think that's this sort of stigma attached that people feel like they don't want to label themselves. And it's
absolutely, and I think we forget these athletes have trained all year, and the basketball is the best example. It was so close. I was speaking to Jack Walker, who was the LUSU Vice President for Activities, and he was gutted. They came so close, and we forget these guys have put so much in. They're on a massive platform, and to lose is gutting. And I think that's perhaps been forgotten in previous Roses, and to have that impact on mental health and to have that stigma try to break through has made a massive difference, hasn't it? You've been playing today, I believe.
Oh, I wouldn't call it playing, but...
You're playing croquet?
Yes, indeed.
How was that?
It was good, yeah. We've discovered the Lancastrians are quite competitive. They questioned our rule book several times. But, yeah, at last we did not win.
But we won overall, so who cares?
But there might be something that comes up in a minute, which was another tweet, because I actually managed to save 2 hedgehogs. So
we'll try to get that tweet.
I am happy. It's You Are Wise tweet, I think.
It's on You Are Wise. We'll try and find that in the control room.
I pretty much cried with joy, and then I couldn't concentrate for the rest of the day.
I would.
Naturally.
So I'm literally just sending it to everyone like, look at my friends.
Well, I was going to say, so croquet's pretty competitive. I never would have thought.
No, nor would I, but Lancastrians can make anything competitive, apparently. But yeah, their Vice-Chancellor was getting quite...
into it.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, that's definitely one way of putting it.
And croquet is not necessarily a sport you associate with the competition of Roses. I mean, there's a huge variety. I think Pokemon Go had a tryout this year. There's muting, debating, esports. We had a great thing in the control room yesterday. We were watching the darts on one stream and the esports next to it. And that's what's great about Roses. You have everyone's interest can be catered to. It's great.
And I think we're doing more and more around that. So, for example, this year we've done Liberate Roses, which was a great opportunity run by our part-time officers from the liberation groups that basically encourage people to come along and do some kind of chill activities available to them. So that's really cool.
What do you think is going to be next? What obscure sport could come?
Obscure. I am pushing for aeroball.
Which
is amazing, but not really appreciated. It is basically if you cross trampolining with basketball.
Whoa. That sounds cool.
I've played it twice in my life, and it was easily the most fun experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it really classes as a sport yet.
We had some brainstorming ideas, and I think it'd be great to put the student media, TV and radio, head to head over the weekend. Even like a DJ sound clash. The sound clash in London is massive. And if you have like a DJ sound clash, York v Lancaster, that'd be great. I think it encompasses everything, So maybe 2 years' time we can have that.
There's loads of opportunities to expand out into getting societies involved and doing all of that. I know the library for the first time this year did a quiz
against
there's
a library quiz.
Lancaster.
I couldn't see the schedule, but that could be implemented in the next couple of years.
I think as well, because Rose has been such a success, it inspires you to do a sport. Like now, I just want to do a sport. That's how I'm feeling. I think it's good because it'll make people want to.
I always watch the Dance Society, and then I'm always like, oh, I could dance. And then I'm like, no, now that's why I don't dance.
You see the level, and you're like, oh right, maybe not. That's how everything.
Yes.
Just give us a sense of the operation, and because logistically, it's a nightmare, isn't it, to put this kind of thing on?
Yes. So I'm quite lucky actually because in terms of this, I'm not that involved in the operations. It's very much Isaac's problem, and all of our fantastic staff as well.
Yeah. So shout out to you guys because you're not the visible people, but you've got a great behind-the-scenes team.
Yeah, they are literally, they're just amazing. We couldn't do it without them. So all credit to them. But yeah, it's obviously like a massive financial operation. There is so much rotoring and everything like that to do. So York Sport, from the university side of things, work really hard and work well with us. And then there's all just the logistics. There's always dignitaries and people to move from place to place. So that's what I do a lot of.
It's really good that I think that all aspects of the uni have been brought together, haven't they? And it's a big collaboration, and that's always nice to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes me really happy.
Yeah.
So this is one of your big events, your last big events in your USU year. Does it stand out as the highlight?
I think yes. Well, I know yes, to be fair. I'm always I'm not the biggest fan of sport. I'm not very good at sport.
But you don't have to, because everyone gets a role, and that's important. First team, second team, third team.
Exactly. So Isaac always laughs at me because I can't even throw things in the bin from my desk. But I think this weekend has literally it's shown me that anybody can get involved, even if you're spectating. I have shouted myself hoarse at more than enough sidelines this weekend. So it's really fab, and I think everyone can get involved. So it definitely will remain one of my favourite memories. Not to mention the hedgehogs. They'll definitely feature.
That's already one of my favourites.
Have you seen our poster across campus?
I have. Yes. I believe I actually tweeted you about it.
Well, yeah, I recall the conversation. Me, Grace, and Josh keep getting Snapchats sent to us.
Don't know if you believe it. That's the friendliest I've looked. Seemingly I've got a really serious, angry wrestling face, and I'd always end up being like. So this is actually not. This is actually quite neutral for me. I think.
I have what is known as the resting beach face.
I like
beach face. There you go.
It's good.
I thought that was going somewhere completely different then. Millie, enjoy the rest of today. Hopefully see you at the closing ceremony tonight.
Thank you so much.
For the rugby showdown.
Yes.
And what a weekend it has been. So to repeat, if you're just joining us, thankfully York has won. We have reached the 183.5 threshold. And so the rugby is a mere formality for this tonight. Let's introduce to you now. So for the context, we've done a lot of live shows from our glass studio, and shout out to UC for letting us have this amazing facility by the lake. We've had some cracking photo bombs. We had the Roses Trophy. For most of it, it's hopefully safe somewhere by the rugby. If not, we have lost it, and that's not our fault. Blame LA1. But last night's show, we had about 6 o'clock. Some random guest decided to. York alumni was, do you know what? We want to come on your show, so they came on. And here's a taste of what happened last night.
Oh, yeah.
We had some guests on tonight. We often have to find the guests. Some guests, though, love the attention. Tom and Douglas, that is you, isn't it?
Are these on?
They're on?
Yeah. He's doing his Stevie Wonder impression right now. Mate, that's cool.
It's doing all number one, look at the presenters. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
It's a conversation.
I've not been answering you before.
It's a conversation. Oh, you should have been on before. You're amazing.
So basically, I actually did an interview on the radio earlier, and they said I was really coherent and actually should be a radio host, so they said come on to the TV.
Were the words space for radio used in that, or...?
No, I'm just saying, actually, we've got some hosts, they're all right, but I think you could up their game a bit, give them a bit of challenge.
So you're here to replace us?
No, I'm here to challenge you to raise your games.
Okay, I'm really scared.
I feel challenged.
Is anyone watching this, by the way?
Yes.
Yes? Hi guys, to all the fans out there. Sorry Karen, you're
give a shout out to your mum if you want.
You're both York alumni, just tell us your involvement with Roses in the past.
Shall I start?
I'll start actually. I'll start. So basically, so anyone who's overweight and has not got the capacity to run for 80 minutes plays for the second or third team. So I was the second team captain for quite a while in Roses, and Robbie. And basically I looked up to Tom for quite a lot of my life, and I'll probably leave it to you actually afterwards. Inspirational, to be honest.
Tom,
you go.
So I'll give you a bit of truth. So I don't know how much you guys know about Roses, because I think you're maybe quite fresh to the university, is that right?
Well, Terry's from Lancaster.
Yeah, I'm in second year. This is my second.
Oh my god, get out! So, Job, you're what?
York.
You're first year though?
Yeah.
You're very confident for a first year.
Thank you.
You can have a great career in media. Anyway.
I hope so.
So 2 years, I graduated 2 years ago, I joined York. I didn't really want to come to York, but I ended up here.
Why?
Well, I tried to go to Oxford and they didn't like me, so I didn't go away.
Were you just too funny?
No, I was really shit at the interview. As I'm showing you now, I was very similar to this.
Apologies you offended by the swearing.
I apologise. I'll do public.
So you're at York.
So I was at York.
Roses 2 years ago.
So basically, I was the captain of my final year of university, and I don't know if you know, but the rugby is it's a big part of Roses. As much as it should be, it's a big part of Roses. We'd had a tough year. I won't tell you how many games we won.
Okay.
We didn't win any games.
It was a whitewash.
Don't spoilers. So it got to Roses. I was captain, picked the teams. Third team won, second team won. Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock on 22 acres, and I couldn't eat breakfast that morning. Because we'd lost the whitewash the year before, and the whitewash is a big deal for the club. It's a big deal.
So you're here to challenge us, apparently. We're going to challenge you. So do you want to be expert presenters?
We're York. We're on your side, mate.
Oh, mate, this is up your street.
PC commentary.
Doug, I'll be like, I'll bring the stats.
Okay, he absolutely loves touching the ball. I mean, there's no.
Oh, look at that set. Oh, here comes the spike. Oh, great spike from Lancaster. Great spike.
Really good wrist action from the Lancaster boys there.
So there's a point to Lancaster there. I think it's 7-1. Number 12, apparently number 12 used to play volleyball for Hungary, but he was dropped after failing a drugs test. But actually, it's not as stringent rules in the UK, so he's still allowed to play for Roses.
Number 12 is not here to defend himself in that situation.
Gone out, it's another point for Lancaster. How do you...
What number is he? What, this
16,
one?
16.
No, this one.
21.
Oh no! Oh no! See off the water! See off! Get rid of it! Oh no! Kashoom! That's what happens when you say the number 20 plus 1 live on TV. Keep going! It's done. Alright, Ted.
So it's a very good play. Do you know who was really underrated in the York team?
Go on.
Richardson, number 6.
He's had a good season, to be fair. He's had a really good season.
He's shown himself on the sets. He's a really good setter.
He's a really good setter. He knows. I think he's been scouted by a few Yorkshire County coaches, hasn't he?
Look at 20 plus 1. He's an absolute.
I'm really good.
Good size. Good size.
Good size.
He's without. He's a big guy.
Ed Sheeran lookalike.
Shall we just get?
Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. He's bouncing. Up we go. Ooh. Yeah, good set. Good layup. Here we go. And we go over again. There we go. So. Oh, the dummy. Yeah, there we go.
That is some expert commentary.
Thank you.
Final question. You're alumni.
Yep.
Not to be rude. Why are you here?
I can't let go.
You can't let go.
Can't let go. Best days of your life, uni. Can't let go.
Honestly, you guys. I know you're first year. Siri, I don't know your situation.
I'm second year.
Second year.
I think you zoned out after I said Lancaster.
I love Lancaster. It's a lovely town. It's just an average poor uni. York is an average uni. We all know that. We're all here. We're having a great time. Joel's doing fantastic. Joel one day go to the big leagues. We all know that. ITV. It's got you written all over, mate.
BBC.
Nah, you're not BBC. You're not fast enough for it. The point being, these are the best days of your lives.
I agree.
And I wish I'd done more of this in my time.
So when you were in York, was it like Cuda, Salvos, were they still nice outfitters?
You were absolutely wrecked in Fat Fridays last night, so give us a commentary.
Fat Fridays. What happened in Fat Fridays, mate?
Guys, we can talk all night.
Are we not the last segment? Has Millie Beach arrived?
Millie Beach is here, so we're going to leave it.
I don't like her anyway.
Independent of you, Sue.
Millie Beach shouldn't have got voted in. It was an absolute farce. An absolute disgrace.
Millie Beach is the elected president of you.
Vote for Bear.
These guys.
Thanks, guys.
Lovely attention.
Lovely time.
Thank you so much.
Get really professional. Joel, you're very suave.
Thank you very much.
You're going far.
Nice to meet you, Douglas. Thank you.
And Holly needs a promotion, just so you know.
Yeah, get right. Smash him. No, you keep that staying there. That is staying there.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.
I
mean, was that a studio bomb? Was that count as a studio bomb?
I think they win the competition.
I think they won the competition. What an amazing pair of guests they were. Words can't quite describe the experience that was, but that's definitely a TV learning experience for me, and that pretty much sums up how diverse Roses has actually been. We've had the darts, we've had the swimming, we've had the esports, the mooting, the debates. What's your highlight been?
My highlight? I think, again, well, really what I saw, the thing I spent the most time on was the darts. And as I say, the amount of people there and the sound they were making, and just the atmosphere, brilliant.
RKC became a little mini beer keller, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was quite something. Grace Downer, it's official, York have won. We've reached the threshold.
Oh, yes, they have.
I mean, somewhat unbiased. Obviously, we're trying to be impartial, but we are obviously from York. Yeah. What's the reaction on Twitter, though, Grace?
So we've got some great reactions on Twitter. Jacob Phillips has tweeted, York win Roses, paint the town white. Cross country definitely won it for us. Revs, 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 revs. So,
yes, revs tonight, definitely.
They'll be having fun, see you there. York Vision, York have just officially won Roses. Well done, that should be a new thing, Roses.
Roses.
It is York's thing, man.
Well done to everyone involved. Hashtag Roses of White. But we've still got games going on. Women's rugby is still going on, and apparently it's a cracking game this afternoon. And squash, 11 points to York in the squash. Unbelievable performance from everyone today. Hashtag Roses are White.
Nice little gift there from Benjamin McBenface on Twitter, just
Oh, look at that.
Sums up the
white
white domination in terms of the flower we've had this weekend on Roses.
Yeah. Scan as well, Lancaster's newspaper. Congratulations to York for winning the 52nd Roses competition. Lancaster fought hard but couldn't pull through in the end. Better luck next year, guys. So yeah, some really, really great reactions. Congratulations. The netball going really well. Lancaster are now 15 points ahead. And York should be worried, but you know we'll see what happens there. We're still to play for in the netball. It doesn't really matter for us because we have reached that 187.5 against 132.
It's a mere formality, and hopefully, you know, the winning of the rugby will be the icing on the Roses cake. York Sport Union, their champions, Roses are white. We've been mentioning this poster, Grace, all through the show. Now, the Lemon Press, who we have history with, have somewhat from election night, have done a little spoof of our poster. It's not our thing, it's just very dark on their picture. That's the spoof of the poster, and I don't know, I just feel like we had to have some right to reply, so let's try and see the response we had on Twitter. I mean, I'm so jealous of their lighting. I mean, which is better lit? I'm not sure. I think they have the edge on the lighting there. So we're building up now to the end of Roses 2017. We're back later on tonight for the closing ceremony. Streams coming on still from badminton, ballroom and netball. You can watch them on roseslive.co.uk. The ballroom dancing lesson finished a short time ago. That's on roseslive.co.uk. Now, we're going to recreate the end of this, aren't we? Because I think we should end as we started with the poster. So let's get ready for this, guys. We're going to do a closing shot of the poster. Lemon Press.
Serious face. There we go.
This one's for you. Thanks for watching. See you later on tonight.
See you later, guys.